I've been told to react to this video so many goddamn times. I guess we have to watch. Alright, I've been flooded. You guys win. I'm watching it. Future V, while editing this, I noticed that the most important part are in the middle. For the sake of the video, I will just keep it to the middle. He does go on before that to explain what happened with the drama, what he feels about Genshin 4.4, etc. Feel free to check out the original video. I'm just gonna give my takes on what he did. Alright? Shouts out to him.
But hey, maybe y'all aren't convinced that Hoyo needs to do anything. So
I am convinced, but
so I can give a better look at just
some are
how
not for
much
some
of a
reason.
catastrophe things are at the company right now. I'm about
They're
to
good,
show you
no?
some stuff Hoyo definitely doesn't want you to know, and it's about to become painfully clear why they aren't publicly traded. I've compiled the
That's true. So they're not publicly traded. Dude, I've looked for their chart for so fucking long. I couldn't find it. So they're not publicly traded. You can't see their charts. Interesting. Very interesting. You got my attention.
aggregate data for Hoyoverse's reported revenue from Sensor Tower obtained by Gacha Revenue, and the monthly sales data of the CN iOS market for both Genshin and Honkai Star Rail
Okay.
their respective launches through Genshin Lab.
Okay.
I'll have the sheet linked in the description if you're curious about the data and my methodologies.
All right.
The first thing I'd like to point out is right here. In December, the CN iOS market spent $40 million on Honkai Star Rail. But
Yeah.
Hoyo's reported revenue for Honkai Star Rail in the month of December was $28 million. That's 145%
What?
their reported revenue. So, how is it possible that they made more money in that single market than they made in all markets combined?
Yeah, what the fuck? Is there some taxes or something?
It's called bootstrapping, and it's a perfectly legal method almost every larger company does to limit their revenue to avoid certain taxes. However, typically that lost revenue will go into something like hiring new employees, giving bonuses to CEOs, marketing, obtaining liquid assets, things you'd expect a company to do. But Hoyo put it into microtransactions on their own game to make the sales look higher than they actually were. They squandered their
We see now this explains the Qian Yun banner. This explains so fucking much. I did call caps on that shit. Bro is cooking. Let him cook.
revenue on a digital currency that has no trade value, allegedly.
Nah,
Think about what-
it doesn't, okay? This shit is almost like NFTs in a way. NFTs don't hold any value unless you give them value. Let's keep it a buck.
what's going on in Genshin at the moment. Xian Yun
My
setting
man!
all these records. After seeing that, can you really say that with confidence? Think about it for a minute. This is the CN iOS market.
Uh-huh.
The player base that's actually taken the protest seriously. And
I know.
taking meaningful
I know,
action
dude.
towards
Cook.
change. Ain't no shot that market is the one setting records
Thank you, for fuck's sake. Thank you. Who the fuck believed that shit? Damn.
for Xian Yun. That's not the worst of it. Bootstrapping like this isn't something you do when things are great with the company. It's an ill omen. And I'm not just spitballing baseless claims. I've
Hey,
got the
cook,
data
bro,
to
cook.
back it up. Here, I've charted the Sensor Tower reported revenue for Hoyo's games since December of 2022. The green line is the combined revenue for all three games. As you can see, the revenue was pretty stable until the launch of Honkai Star Rail, and it saw a huge spike. But that spike immediately fell off. They were doing a little better than before for a while, but things steadily tapered off.
So
Until
things
we
are
get to
dying.
Last month, where Hoyo is doing worse than they were before the launch of Honkai Star Rail. I
Okay.
know what you're thinking. Big deal. That's still tens of millions of dollars.
I know.
They're missing the forest through the trees. They're now running another game that has
Zenless
its
Zone
own
Zero.
employees, marketing, and maintenance, and they're making less than they were when it was just Genshin.
Yep.
Look at this like you're.
Oh yeah, that's true. And Honkai Impact
It's
Third
not a
second
good
too.
sign to see the company you have a stake in lose money.
Yep.
And when profit margins
I did talk about that shit before, and that they don't want the numbers to look like they're falling down. That's why they're botting. That's why they're doing everything. They don't want those numbers to go down so that investors don't pull back out of Hoyoverse.
Drop, investors get spooked. When investors get spooked,
Thank you.
companies die.
Thank
We've
you.
seen the consequences. You remember 3.0?
Yeah.
Genshin was everywhere.
Yep.
Where was all that marketing for 4.0? Well, it's tough to do marketing for 2 games when you're bleeding profits.
Yep.
Now, it's time for the moment you've all been waiting for.
Pull
It
up.
wasn't clickbait. I'm about to prove to you that whales don't carry Genshin. And it makes sense when you take any amount of time to actually think about it. Let's take a look at Genshin since the launch of Star Rail. Notice anything odd? Sales are way down. But wait a minute. What about all those C6, R5, Nuvalet, Risley, Farina, and Navia showcases?
I know.
The whales came out for those banners. I'd hate to do this to you, but if you want proof and to be peer pressured into endlessly grinding artifacts, all you have to do is look at Akasha and see just how many have submitted builds for Solo Abyss for those characters. If whales carried Genshin, sales would not be so much lower than they were in 3.0.
Okay.
But it's gacha. Gacha equals carried by whales, not Genshin. Do you know what the biggest thing that separates Genshin from other gachas?
What is it?
The ceiling for whales is much lower.
Really?
How many copies of Raiden can I have on my team?
7.
How many copies of Raiden can I get before getting more copies does nothing? Other gachas' method to get you to spend money rely on getting endless copies of a character or weapon until a few weeks later when they power creep them.
Okay.
They've got no problem giving out the character for free because just having the character is
Doesn't
never
do shit.
enough.
Yeah,
That's
okay.
just the first step. In Genshin,
So that's because Genshin is not a competitive game. I guess that's what he's trying to say. There's no PvP, so it's like, why? You know, that's why they're not going to give us free 5-star character too, calling it right now. I think that's what he's trying to say. The reason why they're never going to give you a free 5-star, it's because, well, that's basically how they do shit. It's because you're not incentivized to actually want more copies. And you'll notice too, in like the recent characters, the C1 and C2 are very, very delicioso when it comes to the character's performance. So I think they are trying to shift it a little bit, but obviously it's not enough because there's no competitive aspect to the game, hence why you don't really want to, you know, get multiple copies of a character, because every character at C0 works just fine.
5-star but Dia is complete at C0. You'll
Yep.
never need another copy.
That's
And
literally
you
what I
can
just
be
said.
Fairly confident they'll just continue to get better as new characters, weapons, and artifacts are
Exactly.
released.
Yeah. Also, something very interesting I've noticed between Star Rail and Genshin is that Lycons seem to be more powerful and impactful to your account, while 5-star weapons are not as impactful as, say, a Lycon in Honkai Star Rail. You can always get away with 4-star options. There's so many 4-star options, I feel like, in Genshin. And that will hurt their, you know, how much income they make. And plus, let's face it, Honkai Star Rail, there's one featured Lycon. There's separate Lycon banners, 75% to 25. Very alluring to, like, you want to pull for that Lycon. Genshin, we saw what happened with Tectone. Let's keep it going.
Cons are just a flex. The product in Genshin is the base character.
Yep.
Sidetrack to talk directly to Tectone again. I don't know who you've been talking to, but Hu Tao has not been power crept. She's still the queen of Vaporize, and Hoyo
True.
is still the most ridiculously overtuned weapon in the game. If you still don't want to believe me about whales not carrying the game, just look at the banner sales. The top of the charts are all reruns. You know who doesn't pull on reruns?
Whales.
The Giga Whales everyone thinks carry the game because they've already wailed on the characters and weapons the first time
Bro is cooking so well. I can't wait to eat what he's about to serve.
around. Let me ask a question to everyone like me that wasn't around for the launch of Genshin. When you first started playing the game, did you also look up guides and just clicked on the one?
Yeah, everybody did that.
Because that's the best case scenario for Hoyo. That's how you get schmucks like me to see videos saying, Vinci is a triple S tier must pull. Nobody will ever come close to being as good as him. He will always reign at the top of the meta. During 2.6. And then schmucks like me say, oh, well, if he's that insane, he might actually be worth buying one of those double reward top-ups.
I did that
That's the
too.
best
I
case
regretted
scenario
it.
for Hoyo. Someone not understanding the game and being convinced to pull by outdated videos. The model preys on the assumption that players that don't know any better, that whales carry the game. And don't think you're getting off clean either, Honkai Star Rail. I'm coming for you too. Despite
Alright.
the fact that Honkai Star Rail gets everything Genshin players ask for, Honkai Star Rail has had some trying times. In particular, right after Sealess Band.
True.
I have no idea how anyone can look at the Honkai Star Rail sales and get the takeaway, yeah, they're doing so much better than Genshin.
I wouldn't say they're doing much better than Genshin. They're treating us better than Genshin. That's what matters to us. But how they're performing, well, obviously it's a turn-based game and the market is pretty competitive nowadays. So, you know, all things considered, considering the genre that is Honkai Star Rail, I feel like the game is doing just fine, in my opinion.
All of the incredible things Hoyo has done for that game hasn't really shown a return on that investment. But Honkai Star Rail players, that's not your fault. It's because the biggest lie Hoyo wants you to believe, that Genshin players are loyal fans. They just aren't. And Hoyo learned that lesson the hard way. When they dropped Honkai Star Rail, Genshin sales plummeted and Honkai Star Rails exceeded anything Genshin had ever done.
Yep.
But something unexpected happened. Instead of coming back to Genshin or switching to Honkai Star Rail, that player base that gave Honkai Star Rail the kickstart it needed left
To
both
leave.
games.
I was gonna talk about this. Thank you. I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy. It's like the Honkai Star Rail killed Genshin because it allowed us to finally find something else. Because it did it for me. I'm talking from personal experience. When Honkai Star Rail came in, and I started playing Honkai Star Rail, and I saw how easy it was and more streamlined it is in my daily activities, I was like, okay, I don't feel like playing Genshin anymore. So since that, I let my account to someone. I just let them play it and like do my dailies in case something changes, and then I can come back. And then I was like, okay, Honkai Star Rail is good, but it's like too quick to finish during the day. So it's like I would love like a triple A title like I can play. And now I'm looking at Wuthering Waves. So the catalyst to all of this was Honkai Star Rail, and I still stand by the fact that Honkai Star Rail killed Genshin, and now it's hurting Hoyoverse even more because they just overestimated how much we care about Genshin. Thank you. Hey, what's your name again? Soul Pop. Hey, my man. Respect.
Honkai Star Rail's tanked and Genshin's didn't recover. HSR players, the thing you've got to know is that the reason you and Honkai Impact 3rd players are rewarded so well is because you're loyal. It's to keep you loyal. Hoyo knows Genshin players aren't loyal, so they don't do things like expand the endgame and make events replayable that bring us to the crux of the issue and the reason why I am protesting. Hoyo doesn't bother to improve Genshin because they don't think we're worth it. They are undervaluing us as consumers. They're undervaluing the content creators that give their product free promotion. They don't show us respect because they don't think we deserve it and make events.
So it's because we're not loyal, as in, but the Genshin stands are like very vocal / they defend the game like as if it's their wives. It's like, it's crazy how they defend the game. I don't know about you, but that's kind of loyalty, no? But I do understand the fact that like normal gamers, say me, him, you guys watching, all us, yeah, we're not loyal. I'm not gonna be. I love to be loyal. I'm loyal to games that I like, and the fact that I still have my account lent out to someone farming resources in case one day I want to return to the game tells me that I would love the game to work, and I am loyal to it. But it's like, I can't play you though. I can't play you anymore because I'm tired. I'm tired. There's so many things to do that are more fun and engaging. That shit grown out old. Like, it's been 3 years and a half I've been doing that shit. It's like, come on now. Plus, Honkai Star Rail had to happen. Like, Honkai Star Rail, again, had to happen. None of this would be happening if Honkai Star Rail never happened, and he says it too. Told y'all. Told y'all. I just didn't realize how big of a take it was.
Reason why I am protesting. Hoyo doesn't bother to improve Genshin because they don't think we're worth it.
I mean, look, if the players are not loyal and they think they're going to switch off anyway, why waste money on players that are going to leave anyway because you think your business model will just never fit them 100%? Like, they will leave. And like, you got to give out way too much for those players. Yeah, I can see why Genshin can look at us and go, fuck you. Yeah, you guys can leave. Like, it's okay. But leave to other titles.
Undervaluing us as consumers. They're undervaluing the content creators that give their product free promotion. They don't show us respect because
they give them fucking promotions, dude. The fuck is that?
I don't think we deserve it. That's a terrible way to run a business.
Who knew?
If they don't shape up, I'll be real. Zenless Zone Zero might be the death of Hoyoverse if things go the same way they did after.
Apparently, Zenless Zone Zero doesn't have an identity yet. We don't know what it's really going to be about. People are not happy with Zenless Zone Zero. That's the word on the streets. Don't take mine. I didn't see any gameplay. I didn't even look for gameplay. I just heard.
And I don't want that to happen. I love this game.
Same.
It ticks all the boxes in my head that makes
Same.
me excited to keep playing a game.
Same.
But hey, a protest means nothing if there's no table to meet at. So here's what I want to see. I know my opinion doesn't represent everyone's. Just know you have every reason to want the changes you want. But I'm just going to talk about the changes I think are most important.
Pull up.
1. Publicly not for the lack of transparency and the disrespectful way you have treated your consumers.
They're not going to do that.
2. Make a statement of a plan of action.
This is good.
Including a change of leadership.
Hallelujah. Thank you. We should add that to the list.
I personally will never have my faith restored with the company if I do not see that happen. 3.
Yeah, fuck how you.
Remove AR content locks. Allow AR30 and the Inazuma Archon quest to be unlocked via purchase. You depend on new and casual players for your revenue, and the game is too damn big.
That is true. That is a fact. And I was going to make a video talking about this point more in depth, where Genshin is more of a new player friendly game, more so that it is a long time player friendly game, as in like you feel more rewarded being a new player because there's so much shit to do if you're a new player. But if you're old like me, you've been playing this shit for years, it's trash.
Big to expect them to play the game long enough to catch up. Every open world live service game eventually has to come to terms with this. 4. Make events replayable.
That's on the list.
Your devs, writers, and artists work too damn hard for their work to be honest away after 2 weeks.
Yep.
And
I wouldn't call them they work that hard, because the moment they saw that shit is not going to be replayable, they just start rehashing the same shit, and that's it. They keep it moving.
Replay some of the combat events is at least a band-aid for players' concerns about the end game.
True.
Before I go, a few other interesting things I discovered while looking over the data. Surely you've heard this. Genshin got all of its success during the COVID boom.
Yeah.
I mean, not according to the data. Genshin didn't really start seeing consistent growth until post-COVID. And that makes sense. People didn't have money during COVID. Of course you're going to make more money when consumers are actually able to work.
Yo, content creators did great. So it looks like Genshin itself did not do great. I didn't know that.
On a related note to that, I remember prior to 3.0 seeing a bunch of videos saying the game was dying. No idea where that came from. If you look at their quarterly growth during that time, the only dip was still higher than their revenue at launch.
But what a dip now.
At the end is pretty exaggerated because it's just the month of January. If we switch over to monthly, we can see the dip is still there, but it's not nearly as bad.
Yeah.
Had I not included it, it would have shown growth, but that wasn't the case.
Yeah.
Once again, it'd be incredible if you'd all join me in my digital sit-in. Log into the game, drop graphic settings to lowest to minimize your RAM usage, change your name and signature to something that shows your discontent. Don't spend any money, and
I might do that.
Leave the game.
I don't do that
up.
shit.
Force them to notice us.
Yeah.
Encourage anyone who asks about it to.
Now, I am a little biased because I'm a content creator, so it's like I do want to feel like the moment I return, I have some shit because I'm free to play. It's like I want to pull for the new character and whatever is in at the moment I'm excited about. That's why I left my account to someone who's still thirsty for Genshin Impact. That's the perfect middle ground I found, right? I don't want to participate in the shit, but I'm not going to be a hypocrite and lie to you guys. I'll just let my account someone else take care of it. But I would love to go back to it one day because I'm still a fanboy of the shit. I'm not going to promote it though. I'm not going to make content about characters though. I'm not doing that shit. But just to level with you guys. Just to level with you guys.
Same.
But I might change my name too.
One-star reviews
I might change
on
my
the
name.
Play Store, App Store, and Epic.
Yeah, keep doing those.
The only thing stopping Hoyo from taking us seriously is the presumption that that is true.
True.
Bye.
Hey, my man, take care, dude. Hey, yo, killer video. Holy shit. He came out like a ghost too. Soda Pop. He came out like a ghost. We don't know who he was. The streets didn't know, but looks like he's the new badass in the block. So, shouts out to Soda Pop, my man. Respect. Thank you. Keep it up, dude. We do need more people like you. I agree with everything here on what he feels, and the takes he made are very interesting. I'm not gonna lie. This was incredible. Shouts out to my man. And if anybody has any form of information, contact me, contact Soda Pop, whoever you relate to more as a content creator. Let them know what you find. Let the voices be heard more. Let people cook. Let people do their thing. Because we gotta do more. Obviously, because these pozos are still not moving for some reason. They are fighting us back, if anything. So, yeah, dude. Check out Soda Pop. Amazing, amazing guy, it looks like. And I'm excited to see what he does next. I'm not gonna lie, I'm excited to see what he's gonna do next. I will see you on the next one. See ya.